So I said, Lord, I'm trying not to get angry over this, right? I'm trying so hard. It's not working. I'm like, Lord, please. I just really need you right now, more than I've needed you in a really long time, to just step in. Do something. Help me. I need your help. I'm desperate. Hi, everybody. We are going to be talking about Satan attacks on me, and I have really been down, so I want to talk about it.
Welcome to the Soapbox podcast with your host, Winter.
Welcome to Reality Now and the Soapbox podcast. I don't have a mic with me, so there's going to be some wind noise. I ordered a mic, and it's the wrong side. It's the wrong port for my phone. I was so disappointed to have to send it back, but there you go. So there's hopefully the wind noise won't be horrible, but I want to share this with you because maybe it will help you with your fight against Satan, because we fight against him all the time. I have been really struggling lately with my faith and just feeling like prayers aren't being answered. As I see other people's prayers in their lives being answered, and Satan loves to beat us up and say, see, God doesn't care about you. Look how he's answering this person's prayer. Look how he's answering that person's prayer. And I've been having an issue with where I live, and it's been going on for 9 years, but it's really escalated in the last 2-3 years. And of all things, it's watering my yard. So, to make a really long story short, I know that it is Satan that's coming against me with the yard watering. And I'm being very transparent in the fact that a couple of years ago, when it really escalated, I became really upset about it. I was so angry that the things that were being said to me about the watering situation was, in my opinion, stupid. I'll give you an example. This one employee, I asked this employee several times to please not move my hose. I water my own yard, and this person kept moving my hose. And every time I'd come outside and see my hose moved, it just, you know how when the anger's inside and you're all tense and tight inside and you just want to explode? Well, that's how I felt. And I hated feeling these feelings because I have spent most of my life feeling like that all the time over situations. Because I wasn't, back in the day, I wasn't following God the way I do now. I wasn't relying on God the way I do now. I wasn't pursuing his will, his advice, his thoughts on how I should be doing things. So this employee was demonically possessed, and I knew it. And it came out at some point with a huge attack against me while I was at a get-together with some people. This person just attacked me for no reason. There is never a reason when Satan is attacking you other than what's going on in the spiritual realm. In the flesh, you're sitting there going, what is happening? What is going on? So fast forward to this summer, I told everybody, please let me water my own yard. And This employee was long gone. God came in, literally came in and removed 2 people from the row that I live in that were thorns in my side. He removed them both in the same month. And I knew it was him. And I was just, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. This employee was one of these people that got removed. Literally out of the park she went. So I talked to the guys that are doing the watering, and I said, I've got this. No worries, being very kind, being very nice. I've got this. Please don't move my hose. I've done this for 9 years. I love watering my yard. I take joy in watering my yard. It gives me something to do outside of my house. So this watering days are Tuesday and Friday. So this occurred on Friday. And I had been down for a while over, just not feeling like my relationship with the Lord is where it should be, and just really struggling. Well, Friday of last week, my hose, I get up in the morning and my hose is out all the way to the end of the yard. They're not supposed to touch my hose. And so I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna let it go. They did my hose, they put my hose out. Good, I didn't have to do it. Trying to be positive, not let Satan get to me. Well, as the day went on, I talked to the one guy who's new at doing this. And I said, I moved my own hose, you don't need to do it. And he goes, okay, good, that's one less yard I have to water. And I'm like, yay, somebody who gets it. Somebody who actually gets it. Yes, I'm saving you work. And so when I had this issue last year, and the owner of the park came over and talked to me, I said to him, what part of, because he was being petty and childish about the situation. And I said, what part of wanting to water my own yard do you not get? I'm saving your employees work. And I enjoy doing it. And he says to me in a very flippant manner, well, do you want us to stop mowing your yard too? And I just looked at him and I said, really? Really? Oh, it's beautiful out here. It's so beautiful out here. I'll sit here for a little bit because I'm not in the walking, lose weight mode right now. Just walking. So I just couldn't believe the owner of the park said that to me. I'm like, no, I don't want you to quit mowing my yard. I just want to water my yard. What is wrong with wanting to water my own yard? I said, you even put out a mandate 2 years ago that everyone was supposed to water their own yards because you didn't have enough employees. So this is what I'm dealing with. And so I'm asking the Lord for peace about it. I don't want to spend every Tuesday and Friday being ticked off and frustrated and all of this just because I want to water my own yard. So on Friday, I had talked to that man and he says, got it. So I was moving my hose, and I went up to get a grocery order. And when I came back, my hose was moved. And I was like, I can't even believe this. So this is where the mistake was made on my part. We reap what we sow. I've been a big sower and reaper whenever I get negative my whole life. I pay for it, and I pay for it in a big way. So I get back and I see my hose has been moved, and the guy comes walking up the yard next to me, and I said, you're gonna be real sick of me before this day is out. I said, I went to go get a grocery order and I came back and my hose is moved. And then the mistake. I said, I've lived here for 9 years. It has been every year I have had to tell the office to please tell the employees not to move my hose. And I'm angry while I'm telling him this. And I said, I'm sick and tired of it. I don't get it. And he goes, well, I'm not the one who moved it. So-and-so moved it. And I said, okay, well then you need to tell so-and-so that he better not touch my hose again. And I said, I pay rent for this yard. This yard is mine. And I don't want anybody in my yard that I pay rent for. I was angry because I'd had it in my flesh up to here. And I'm still talking to the Lord, Lord, help me have some peace. And I'm not getting any. I'm not getting any. The next day was Saturday. And I hear the mowers going. And I came outside later in the day. Well, not later in the day, but I came outside after the mowers had passed our place. And everybody else's grass was cut, but mine. I went, oh, okay, this is the game we're going to play now? Because I called the office, and I told the lady at the office, I said, I have asked these boys nicely to please leave my hose alone, but now I'm ticked. I said, I don't want anybody touching my hose. I water my own yard. Please. And he goes, I'll let the owner know. I said, thank you, and I hung up. When I saw that my yard had not been mowed, I went into almost rageful over it. I go knock on my next door neighbor door, and I'm telling her, this is the situation that's going on. I said, I can't believe they didn't cut my yard. And I said, God told me last night that my yard wasn't going to be cut. And he did. He told me Friday night, he goes, your yard's not going to get mowed tomorrow. And I didn't know they were going to mow the yard at all that tomorrow, because they do it on weird days of the week. Sure enough, God was right. My first reaction in the flesh was I took my hose down, because I paid for that hose, and I threw it in my shed. I thought, I'm not touching this yard ever again. I'm not watering it. I'm not having anything to do with it. I don't care anymore. I'm done. And then later that night, this is when it really hit me hard, was Satan at his finest. No one ever listens to me. They never have in my whole life. I have never been respected by anyone in my whole life, except one husband. I have never been heard, listened to, nothing. And that is exactly how I was being made to feel by these people in this park that have no respect for the fact that I'm asking to water my own yard. There was another woman living in the park, and this is the second person that God moved away from me because of the thorn. No one ever touched her hose, ever. She told me that. She goes, no, they touched my hose. They're going to pay for it. And they didn't. They never touched her hose. But yet they're in my yard all the time, touching my hose, moving my hose, doing everything in their power. They'll turn the water down on my faucet. And I have been nice to these people until I got angry with this guy. I got angry with the owner last year over it. He did continue to mow my yard last year, though. He goes, okay, I'll tell him not to water your yard. And I said, thank you. That's all I want. Anyway, so you can see, I'm really trying to show you the flesh behind all of this. What is Satan doing? He's causing strife. He's causing anger. He's causing unease. And I've been watching again a minister that I absolutely love. He completely, we got wind. That didn't last long. He literally completely changed the way I looked at God and how God looked at me. And it was wonderful. Well, I've been watching him again lately. And it's a good thing that I have. God must have led me to watch him again so I could get back in my heart what I needed to hear. So I am watching his videos, and this morning, it's Tuesday, watering day. No, it's Friday, watering day. Look at how beautiful this is. Isn't that gorgeous? So pretty. There are white ones that have white flowers on them, but these are just gorgeous. I don't know what they are. If you do, leave a comment. So I get up this morning and I had put my hose back out and I hooked it back up and I put the sprinkler head on it and I took it in the yard where I wanted to put it, and I turned it on. Well, one of the employees walks by behind the trailers, because that's where the hoses are attached. He walks behind the trailer where I live, and my yard extends. My yard that I pay rent for is behind my trailer as well. Here comes a sprinkler head from the hose next door into my yard. And I've got my sprinkler going in my yard already. But this comes into my yard behind, not even behind the trailer, next to it. To where my little fence is around my patio, my rug area. It's literally in my yard. And he's got the water going there. And I'm like... So I said, Lord, I'm trying not to get angry over this, right? I'm trying so hard. It's not working. I'm like, Lord, please. I just really need you right now, more than I've needed you in a really long time, to just step in. Do something. Help me. I need your help. I'm desperate. Oh, how long was it after I sent up that prayer? Maybe 2 minutes. I hear Graham's words in my head. I delight in when Satan attacks me. And it stopped everything that I was feeling. And it turned everything that I was feeling in my flesh into peace, joy, triumph. Because Satan only attacks the way he's been attacking me and the way he attacks all believers that have a voice for Christ. Because he's irritated with us. He doesn't want us talking about the kingdom. He wants us to shut up. He wants to put us into a state of being angry and upset because he's angry and he's upset and he's ticked off, and he wants us to feel the exact same way. And when I heard Graham's words in my head saying, I get all excited when Satan attacks me. And I get all excited when Satan attacks me, and I was just, yes, I'm going to take delight in this. I had a victory. I had a huge victory in that. And so I sat down and I just started writing about having this victory and just being delighted that Satan was doing this. I took away in that moment all of his power over my watering situation. All of it. But what else happened was my yard hadn't been mowed this time. He didn't have my yard mowed. And I was really angry about that. Well, that day, I thought, what am I going to do to rectify this? What do I need to do? And so, first it was take the hose down. I'm not going to water the yard ever again. Heck with that. To no, I'm not going to let them get this victory. I'm not going to let Satan win. Well, I happen to love mowing my own yard. I love it. I love to mow my own yard. And I don't have a lawnmower. So I got on Amazon, of course, and I found the cutest little battery operated lawnmower. I'll put a link below and I'll put a picture up. 13 inches, it's small, battery operated, which I love. I don't have to worry about gas and things like that, and getting choked and all of that. I don't have to worry about trying to get it to start. It will just start. So I put this mower in my cart and I hit the send button and I bought that bad boy. And in that moment, I felt triumph again. This was before the triumph of today. But I felt like I took back some power that had been stolen from me. And what the owner of the park doesn't know is by doing this 2-year-old attitude towards me, he's actually given me a gift of being able to mow my own yard. So I just really want to share this with you because I love the Lord with all my heart, all my soul, all my mind. I am in the Word of God every single day. Right now I'm reading the book through in a year. I'm into Amos right now. Well, the Old Testament is not a place to go to get, what's the word I'm looking for? Comfort? No, it's not. Especially in the books I'm in right now. And so this morning I said, I need to get back into the New Testament where, we've got the grace and mercy of the Lord. And I went in, I read all of 2 Peter, I read all of 1 John, and then I was just really, really asking the Lord, please, Lord, I need you more than I've needed you. Please, Lord, help me. Just help me. And that's when the delight over Satan's attacking. And what it really means is that I am making a difference for the kingdom. Because if I weren't, Satan wouldn't be bothering me. And it hit me about the woman who lived at the end, that no one ever bothered her about her hose. Why? Because she's owned by Satan. She's not a believer. She, in fact, is a practicing witch. And he put that on my heart. He's like, see, you get ignored. You don't get listened to. You don't get heard because you're talking to the world. And the world hates you, winner. The world hates you because it first hated me. I'm telling you right now, walking with Christ, it's a two-edged sword. It's the hardest thing you'll ever do, but it's the best thing you'll ever do. Because the feeling that came over me in that moment of realization that Satan wasn't going to win, not this time. It's the feeling you get. It's what else in your life can you look at and you'll be in misery and you will be just down in the mouth and just hating the world and everybody in it. And all of a sudden your whole attitude will flip into a wonderful, peaceful, joyful way of looking at everything. Where else can you get that kind of result? Nowhere. Yoga's not going to give it to you. The New Age practices and your chakras being open and, you burning incense and talking to your crystals and your false idols that you've got throughout your house, your Buddhas that you've got sitting in your house that you think are your meditation room, where you think you're getting all this wonderful peace. No, you're not. You're just being lied to. And you're lying to yourself because your peace is short-lived and it's not real. It's fake. Satan is really good at pretend. And he likes to mimic God in everything. He likes to mimic God in everything. He will take a Bible verse and give you just a little bit of it to make you think it's true, and then he'll twist the rest of the Bible verse into what he wants you to think. And it takes you away from, loving your God. And he really had me down. He really, truly did. I was really, really down. And I am so grateful that the Lord stepped right in immediately when I just really got serious and said, Lord, I need you. I need you right now. I can't wait another minute. I can't wait another hour or another day. I need you right now. I'm going to link Graham Cooke's channel below because that is a man that you need to watch if you want to see a new perspective on how God sees you, because it's amazing. It turned how I see God completely around. And yeah, I'll just share this with you. In the talk he was giving last night that I was watching, he said, I have gotten over 50,000 letters that are filled with hate. hate mail. And he said, it's in writing. It's not through emails. They write it. And he said, there's no punctuation. There's no grammar. It's just one long run-on sentence for 24 pages. And he looks at this and he's like, they're cursing me. They're telling me that they're praying that I die. I mean, this is some serious hate mail that he gets. And he says, I just sit down and I write to them and I say, you know, the Lord has blessings just waiting. The Lord's going to bless you. And I just want to thank you for this letter, because I know that I'm going to get blessings out of your curses. So he takes the negative and he flips it on its head that's coming at him. And that's what we need to do. We need to take the negative that Satan is trying to shove down our throats and flip it on its head. And that's what I did today. So that's my talk. I hope that you really got something out of this. I hope it touched your heart in some way. I hope it moved you in some way. I hope that this was what you needed to hear today. I'm feeling great. I love it. And will I go through this again? Sure. That's what being a believer is all about. But the next time it happens, I will be a lot quicker to recognize what's happening and to get on top of it. To recognize what is happening and get on top of it a lot faster. That's what growing in Christ is all about. You don't do 1 step forward and 3 steps back. You do 1 step back and 10 steps forward. And then half a step back and 20 steps forward when you're in a relationship with God. So you just keep winning the battles against Satan and just keep fighting. Take everything to God. Take it to God. I waited too long to take it to God. That's what I'm saying. The next time I'll be quicker. I'll be more on top of it. I'll realize, oh yeah, that's what's going on. Okay, hey Lord, I need your help, and I need your help right now. And he'll either send me to a video to watch, or he'll just do what he did today and say, Graham Cooke. That's all he had to say. And I was like, yeah, that's all I needed to hear, because I knew exactly where he was leading me. So my battery is going to die, which is fine. I'm so glad the wind didn't continue to wreak havoc. Praise God for that. All right, everybody, leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. Share this video out. I really appreciate it. I love you all, and I will see you Wednesday, prayerfully with whatever the Lord wants me to talk about. All right, see ya.